Hi, this is Sylvia Sharp, my Independence channel, and I am back after a hiatus of probably about 2 years, maybe a year and a half, I don't know, something like that. Anyway, I am back posting my videos so that I can hold myself accountable, because I feel like if I tell YouTube land I've told the world what I'm going to do, and I better either follow through or come up with a very good reason why I'm not following through. So it's kind of my way of keeping myself accountable. I am a 55-year-old who is looking for a way to support myself. Until recently, I was taking care of my mother at home, so that was the focus of what I was doing. And for a long time, I tried to grow a business while I was also taking care of my mom, and that kind of fell apart. That got to be way too much for me. But anyway, the reason I am recording this video is my very first video this week. What I'm going to be doing is doing a compilation of videos, a little bit from every day. I will make it shorter next week, I promise. It will make it shorter. It was really long this week. But I'm going to keep my eye on the clock better. But anyway, my very first video, I was really all over the place, and I wasn't having a good cognition day, even though I didn't think I was having a bad day. But anyway, so I just wanted to pop in here and just give you a hey howdy, this is what we're doing thing before we jumped in to the other. So we're gonna be doing that, but let's see. So I told you about, oh, and one of the ways I hold myself accountable and keep because I have memory issues, is I keep myself on track with my Google Calendar, and I'm going to be sharing with you what I do with that through the course of the week, so that you can understand how I'm trying to do things, so that how I'm trying to keep myself on, how I am keeping myself on track, and so that I don't drop the ball on things that I consider important and things that I want to follow through on. And that's it. And I'm looking for work and all of that stuff. And anyway, so it's just going to be a little adventure. So here's my first week. Please forgive me. I'm going to be, I am all over the place. I've viewed the video and I am kind of all over the place. I do think I'm feeling better. I've been exercising regularly, and I do think that helps a lot. But anyway, this is where we are. So I'll see you in all the rest of the videos, and I may pop in at the end for like a little sign out, so that we can make a plan for next week and what we're gonna do. Okay. I am beginning my journey all over again with my self-help through, well, the whole point of this whole entire thing is for me to hold myself accountable. You know how there are some people that profess that you're the main group of people that you surround yourself with is really important to what you'll achieve, and because it ups your standards when you have, like, if you were hanging around with millionaires, you would maybe change some things about how you operate. And because I'm pretty isolated, partially by choice and partially because the last few years, we'll get into that in a minute, that's just what had to happen. Okay, but part of it is just being isolated, and that whole thing, I just felt like I didn't really have a peer group, because I just don't have that many people that I'm hanging out with on a regular basis. I'm looking to change that, but until then, I'm not gonna not try to develop myself, because that's not ideal. So what I decided to do, what I did before, and it really worked before, so I'm gonna do it again, is I'm going to do these video logs. I'm going to do them daily, and I'll just going to get myself back in action. I should have started this about a week ago, honestly, because I was already digging into the Tony Robbins material. I have signed up for a really wonderful course called unleash her power within. And it's a little pricey, but there are like so many things involved with it that I'm like, holy camole. And pricey right now is not a really great idea for me. But I had to do it. So anyway, and the other really good thing about it is there's also one of the bonuses with it, and this is really, like, I had already decided to take it, but this underlined my choice to take it, and that was, Tony Robbins is diving into health. You know, one of the things that Tony does is he studies people that get good results, and then he gets good results by using them as mentors. And so he's had a couple health challenges, and so I don't know what they are, by the way. I just know that he says I've had health challenges, so I have no idea what they are. So I don't know how serious or whatever. If it's just that he's getting older and he wants to explore that, I don't know. But I have multiple sclerosis, and I don't like it, and I would like to get rid of it. And I don't know if that's possible, but I also don't want to be closed to the idea that it is possible. Whether God heals me or something else, I don't know. So I've always been I kind of hover between. Science is wonderful. One of the things, though, that they are getting closer to figuring out what starts MS. They do know that everybody that has MS has Epstein-Barr, or has had Epstein-Barr, which is just a little infection that moves through your body, kind of thing, like a cold, or Epstein-Barr is mono. It's mononucleosis. So, anyway, that's it's one of the things. So, I'm rambling a little bit. It's my first time back in the saddle, so forgive me. So one of the things that I said before is I should have started a week ago. And it's true, because I already got my nose in the Tony stuff, and I really wanted to develop some things, and I've gotten my garden started since then. I've cleaned up a couple things. I am going to be very transparent about some of the things that are going on. I'll reveal them all kind of one at a time so that it's not too hard on my ego, but I am going to be pretty open about it. Like, one of the first things that I'm going to fix is my room. And I was in a position, I was really quite depressed, and so I wasn't dealing with my room very well, and I got to the point where I was sleeping on probably about a quarter to a third of my bed, with stuff piled on the rest, stuff all over the floor, a little pathway for me to get from my door to my bed, and then a pathway, there's a bathroom right there too, just a pathway from the door all the way by my bed to the bathroom. And I was living like that, and part of that was just, it wasn't necessarily that I gave up, but and I was just trying to rest every minute that I could. And the reason that I was trying to rest every minute that I could was because my mom was here at our home, and she developed kind of overnight very acute dementia. And so we went from being able to just have me help her when she wanted my help, to me having to make sure she didn't get up by herself. So I became a 24/7 caregiver overnight. And the other thing that was hard about that was that my MS is in a kind of a peculiar way. It doesn't let me know when I'm overdoing it until I'm kind of in trouble. When my body starts talking to me, I probably needed to have stopped 2 hours before that. So I was always in energy conservation mode, which is why I would just go in and lay down on my bed pretty much every chance I got. I did sit out here on my porch a lot too. This is my little corner on my porch. I love it. Anyway, so I was very sedentary. That being said, this week I got my gumption back together. Mama, my mother passed away. I'm gonna try not to cry, y'all, but I may tear up a little bit. My mama passed away in February. So yeah, and I'm really proud of how we cared for her. We did as well as you can do, and just really tried to make her days full of something, and just, yeah. So and we'll get into that another time. But I learned a lot about myself. I learned how much I can take emotionally, because it was a situation where Mom was, every day was a new day to her, but the whole experience for us, for me, went on for a little bit over a year, until my brother got here full time, and then it went on 2 more years, almost 2 more years after that. So yeah, so that's what, and to be able to endure the hardships and everything, and I've got another channel that's all about caregiving and that kind of stuff, and I'm gonna start to do with that. But this channel is all about making my own way, with some kind of source of revenue. I am completely without an income source at this point. So you can imagine I'm a little bit like about it. So yeah, so I've got my resume on Indeed and a bunch of things, and I'm looking for work. I'm actually looking for remote work because I'm quite articulate, but my energy, I couldn't stand for like 3 hours, so working a regular job just isn't a good idea. And the other thing is if I get overheated or whatever, my mind doesn't work really well. So if I worked at a grocery store running a register, it could become a problem if I got overheated and had trouble, so anyway, so it's that kind of work just isn't something that I can manage anymore. But I do think that I can manage remote work and do reverse telemarketing, call center work remotely. So I really, pardon me, I'm really hoping that I could get something that way. Not hoping, I know I will get that. Yeah, I've got a pretty cute little resume. So anyway, I am in North Carolina, which is where it's hot. Most of the, a good third of the year, I'm not necessarily comfortable. So, but we make it work. And anyway, we've got a lot of adventures to go on, and I'm really blessed. But this is kind of my way of figuring things out. So I'm going to be, I haven't decided how I'm going to post these, but I am going to record a little bit every day, and it may turn into a whole, I may post a week at a time, so that But anyway, I'm learning all about posting on YouTube and that kind of stuff. And anyway, and so I'm trying to grow a YouTube channel. That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm doing it on two different fronts. I'm doing it here, but honestly, I don't care if this one grows or doesn't. I will practice the methods I'm being taught by Sunny, and I hope I'm saying this right, Lenarduzzi. I'm studying her work and trying to figure out all the things that I need to do in order to grow this channel. And but the other channel, the caregiving channel, I've got a kind of a multi-pronged approach. I'm going to be doing shorts where I give tips and tricks. I'm gonna post those shorts on all three places that have room for short vids, except for TikTok. I don't know TikTok, and I may incorporate it later, but I'm just gonna stick with the ones that I know right now. So that would be Instagram, Facebook, and here on YouTube. So I'm gonna do short videos, and I'm also going to do with tips and tricks, because honestly, caregivers need to get in and out. We don't got any time. In and out, you know. When I would try to do courses and things like that, when I was trying to study when Mom was ill, and you know, I was constantly interrupted, which you know, you don't want to feel like, oh, she's interrupting me, right? Because it's your mother, you know. And anyway, so there are a lot of things to deal with there, and I'll be talking about that more on the other channel. But anyway, so this is the beginning, and that's kind of exciting. So the wonderful thing that I did that I can tell you about this last week, from last Sunday to this Sunday. Today is a Sunday. It's March. I have to look on my phone. Pardon me. Not March. It's May 22nd. So May 22nd, and last week I started walking daily, which is a big deal because y'all, when I did the first walk, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I have gone downhill this far. I went down to the end of my street, which is about a block and a half. And I had to stop at the end of the street, and I was walking really slowly. Like, really slowly. Now, I did use my Fabulous in 14, which there are two videos that explain the Fab in 14. And honestly, they're from Tony Robbins. It's part of Tony Robbins' world that I remade for my world, okay? And I've talked about this on other videos, but they were a long time ago, so I'll just tell you here. So Tony Robbins has this wonderful thing called Hour Power. And the shortest version you can do is 15 minutes. Well, I did it in 14, dang it. And honestly, I had to alter the words of Tony's, because with MS, some days my body doesn't want to move. And I don't want to spend my time doing a guided meditation / movement thing that is about what I can't do. I didn't want to keep on getting my attention drawn to what my problems were, because I really believe what Tony teaches, which is where focus goes, energy flows. So I didn't want to waste time thinking, oh, well, I can't move that fast, or I can't. I didn't want to go there, you know. Those are incantations, and I want to do incantations. And so I made up this whole thing for myself, and it starts out with breathing, and I do the pattern that Tony does, and and I do the little the finger taps that go along with it and everything, and it's something that's called breath walking, and you do that for like a minute, and then you think about what you're grateful for, And one of the things that I make sure to do before I leave, because my brain kind of gets a little squirrely, especially when I'm sleepy in the morning. It's just, my brain looks like Swiss cheese up there. So there are going to be some, and I don't have many physical symptoms for my MS. So it's cognitive impairment is what it is. So anyway, so that I don't get frustrated on my walk, I make sure to do a few things. I look at my incantations so that I have said them once that day, so that I can recall them when I'm out doing my walk. 2, I get my 3 gratefuls that I'm gonna do for that day. 3 things that I'm grateful for. Sometimes it's like, oh, isn't this a beautiful day? This morning, believe it or not, it was, oh, thank goodness it's overcast. I had gotten up late, and when it's not overcast down here in North Carolina, well, the other day I did a walk, and at 8:30 in the morning, it was already 77 degrees. And I was like, okay. I mean, I usually go for a walk at 7 or 7:30, and that's one of the reasons why I do that. I'll tell you the other reason in a moment. And then the third thing I do in the morning is that I read what I have written for my future vision for my life. And in that future vision, I just have everything that I'm imagining in like 2 or 3 years, this is what my life is going to look like. Because through the guided meditation, it talks about dream the future, dream today, So, and I look over my schedule for the day ahead so that I have in mind what's coming off. And then the other reason I like to do it early in the morning is I dance around and stuff. I don't care. I don't care what, I don't care. And it's cool enough for me to do that, but I'm dancing, I'm doing whatever. I've found with my body and how it reacts that my legs, I can't do too much there if those big muscles can really overheat my whole body really fast. But I can dance around, and I can just do things that are silly and fun that a little girl would do to just feel good. And that's what I do in the morning. And I don't care if I look like an idiot. If I get better, I don't care. And the other thing that I learned, and I learned this recently from a Joel Osteen Rule Your Day challenge, is just to get in, along with the gratefuls, to just get in agreement with God doing things right in your life. So praying for what you want to have happen, and then say thank you for whatever that was you prayed for. Just move right into thanks. And so I've been working with that too, and that's part of my thank yous to my gratefuls. Thank yous, gratefuls, however you want to say it. Anyway, but gratitude is the one place where it's really hard for fear to exist in your body at the same time. It's hard to be fearful and grateful at the same time. In fact, I would say, and probably Tony would too, that it's impossible. So anyway, and that's the whole point of the exercise. Okay, so we do gratefuls, and then it has you do incantations, and it's all I need is within me now. And then I got some drum beats in there, and then you go to dream the future, and then you do dream the future. And so that's why I had to review before I went on the walk. It helps me. Okay, and then it says dream today, and then it does a celebrate, and the celebrate is like just drums and stuff, and just jumping up and down and that kind of stuff. And I do as much as I can. I don't want to overheat my body, so I keep the legs pretty subdued, but I play the drums, and I do all sorts of stuff. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I do that really early in the morning, so not as many people see me walk down the street crazy. So anyway, so that's what I've been doing. But anyway, I've done that for a whole week. And that really first tough day that I told you about, Well, it took me the whole 14 minutes to get down and back. Now I'm going down, walking around a block, getting back to the main road and walking back home. And I'm usually to celebrate by the time I get to my porch, or pretty close to it. So I'm already going so much farther. I've already probably tripled the distance that I'm going. And one of the things that I do in the Dream the Future part is I am imagining myself running, because that's one of my goals, to be running again. I used to run 16 miles a week, and I'm going to get back there. And what I really want to do eventually is do a triathlon, because I think I'm 55 and I think it would be kind of fun, or I'm about to be 55. I don't know. I have trouble keeping track of what year I'm in. But anyway, I think I'll be 55 this year. I think that's it. Anyway, I want to do a triathlon, and I would like to do that by like age 60 or at 60, which would be kind of crazy and really cool. So anyway, so that's where I am, and that's what I'm doing. And so goal setting is one of the big things, and what I'm gonna talk about what I learned from Tony today. I'm doing a couple different courses all at the same time, honestly, this time. Before I stuck to just the Tony stuff, and that's fine, but I've got a couple of things that I need to have on my agenda, and not all of it is personal development, although personal development will make all of the rest of the things fall into place, and I know that's true. So yeah, so I've got Tony, it's called the Get the Edge program by Tony Robbins, and then I have The Body You Deserve by Tony Robbins. And then I also have the teachings coming up starting Tuesday. I have the teachings coming up for Unleash Her Power Within, and I may change my approach when I get to that, since I'm paying for that course and going through it. I don't want to like alter things too much. But here's the thing, I'm not working right now, so all of this stuff that I'm doing, I just run it like it's my job, and that's fine. So there's another couple things that I'm doing. I'm reading every day for business, reading every day for self-development, and I am going through 3 different courses. Yeah, all of them have to do with marketing. One is the Sunny Lenarducci course, and that's for YouTube marketing. I've got another course that I'm taking called Crush It with Challenges by Pedro Adao, and that is all about doing challenges on Facebook and getting a tribe and helping them grow and that kind of stuff. And the third thing is a full stack marketer, and that is by, I'm gonna slaughter his name, I'm gonna just write it here on the screen. You're just gonna see it on the screen because I don't want to say it wrong. So anyway, and but full stack marketer. So I've got like 3 different approaches, and one is an approach to do affiliate marketing, and that's the full stack. Another is how I would like to pull people into my tribe for the caregiver situation, and that's for my Facebook group, and I have a Facebook channel, I have a YouTube channel, and anyway, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, yeah, all of those things are happening, plus gardening, and probably some other things that I'm not thinking of right off the top of my head, because that's the way it goes. But anyway, yeah, I just I'm in it to win it. And if I say I'm going to do it here, I feel like I have said to the whole world, I am going to do this, and I will either follow through or I will come and tell you exactly why. And I am really hard on myself in that I don't reasons and excuses. There's a fine line, you know. And if I'm having a bad MS day, okay, that's a reason. But if you know, but like my Fab and 14, I can do it laying in my bed. So there's a reason that I did it maybe on a day that wouldn't happen, or excuse me, on a day that I wouldn't be able to get up and do a walk with the Fab and 14. I could still do the Fab and 14. I just could do it in my bed. So there's like, I have lines of distinction in that kind of thing. So anyway, but that's it for now. And take good care of yourself and take good care of each other. And you have a really good night. Hi there. My Independence here. This is Sylvia Sharp. And I am starting on my journey of, well, I call it glogging, but it's actually, that's just journaling and logging, so I'm not sure where video comes into it, but I like the sound of glogging better than vlogging, so I like glogging because it's fun to say. Anyway, and anything that you can make fun is a good idea. And I may have to take my glasses off because I think it's picking up the thing, but anyway, we'll see. Yeah, I may have to cut some of this out because I am in a place in my head with my MS where I'm just like kind of all over the place. So forgive me. I am going to do my best at keeping myself reined in. The good news is that I learned something yesterday. I forgot to do my video yesterday, and I was really determined to be really faithful. And this is the one thing that's really hard about my MS, is that I just forget stuff. And so instead of beating myself up yesterday, because you could spend time doing that, and then like, well, how does that help you? You know, all you need to do is take a different action and get a different result. So I try to look at it very scientifically. Okay, well, that is not the result I wanted to get. So which result do I want to get? I want to actually do the video. Okay, so what can I do to make sure I do that? So, so what I did was I did something that I do all the time that is really fun. And I recorded a little snippet I've got a little microphone on my phone, and I took a little bit of video, Killed the Radio Star, and I just did like not even 10 seconds of it, you know, just the chorus. And so I played that so that it would remind me that I needed to do this recording. And then that happened today, and here I am. So I only missed one day, which is great. And I learned something really wonderful, which is really good too. So my whole new modus operandi that I'm working on and using you all as my, not my support system, but as my accountability is not taking time to lament that I didn't do something right. So noticing if it's, well, first of all, not even thinking things are right or wrong, because that can already slow your progress. And, you know, progress is the real solution to any situation. If you can make progress on it, even if it's minuscule, those things stack up, and pretty soon you're doing pretty well. So, looking at it with a scientific mindset and just, you know, taking action, and I've got a graph that I might, it's on my other channel on Facebook, and I might just republish it so that, you know, it's here again and that you can see it. But it's experimental mindset. And it's just take an action, evaluate the action. Was it what you wanted to happen or not? Just like a scientist does. Just no emotions in it. Not, oh, I didn't do it right, so it didn't turn out all right. You know, we don't have, some of us, especially me, because I'm like, I'm 55 now. I'm going to be 56 this year. And you know what's really funny about being, and just let me do this tangent a second. What's really funny about being this age is that I don't remember how old I am. I have to count it up. My brother and I went to a restaurant today, and we both realized we could order from the 55 and over menu, and we were like, woohoo! It was hilarious. We had a good time with that. And here's something that people don't tell you when you're younger. I feel like the exact same silly, sarcastic person that I did all through my growing up. And I had the impression as I was growing up that there was going to be some moment of arrival. Like I was going to arrive into adulthood or something. That's baloney. You were always the same person. So, sorry, I need to clear that little thing. So anyway, you're always the same person. And, you know, no matter how old you are, you're always the same person inside your head. It's always the same. You know, there will things that you will get good at doing or not, but your personality, the thing that makes you, you is not going to change. You're not going to suddenly feel like an adult or feel like you have arrived as an adult. That doesn't happen. You know, you know, that's just, anyway, that's my little tangent. But pardon me. I'm on a new blood pressure medicine and it makes me cough. I don't like it at all. Anyway, so, but this is my, what is today? Yeah, this is Tuesday. And so that's today. So I screwed up yesterday. I fixed it today, and yay for me. And what else? Oh, and I'm still walking, and it's going well, although yesterday I did not feel well. And so I decided that wasn't the result I wanted. So I was, I think I just overdid it on my walk. You know, like, not this last Sunday, but the Sunday before, I barely walked down the street and back. Like, it was me walking, like turtle slow. I'm not over exaggerating. Turtle slow down and back. Now I'm doing a lot better, but I think I just did a little too much dancing around and stuff. So anyway, I cooled my jets a little bit this morning. I still did the walk down the block, walk around the block and back, but I just modified it a little bit. And I have felt good all day. And although my attention hasn't gone to all of the things that I wanted to pay attention to today, the thing that has been good is I have been knocking out things for my mom's memorial, which is not this Saturday, but the next. So I want to have all of that wrapped up by tomorrow so that I can, knock it off my to-do list so I can stop worrying about it. Because that was the other thing that I was actually kind of concerned was triggering my MS, that I was having anxiety about following through on all of those things. When your memory doesn't work, there's a part of you that doesn't trust yourself. And it can be very anxiety producing. And it makes perfect sense that you have anxiety about it. I was talking to somebody else that has MS about this today, is you can live in your calendar with alarms and all of those things, but frankly, that is really cumbersome when you have to remind yourself to do every little thing. What is better is to come up with systems and then do the really hard reminders for appointments and that kind of thing. So it's an interesting thing. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for today. Hey there. It is Wednesday and I'm excited that the week is rolling. It is rolling. Wow. So anyway, sorry, I just got out of the shower, so, but I'm keeping my commitment to doing everything, to doing things daily. And let's see. Oh, I have some things in my calendar that haven't been going the way I would really like. And that has to do with, well, I think I told you the last time I've got those blocks of study time. Well, yesterday and today I did the do it later thing with them, because that's the way you can do in the Google Calendar. When you set goals, you say, I'm going to do it this many times a week, and some of them you can just say later and it'll reschedule it for you, which is why I like to use it, because it allows me some flexibility in my scheduling and yet keeps me accountable, keeps presenting me with it. So I've been doing a lot of laters with these things, and it was understandable last week, but I've got to get my head back in it. So what I think I'm going to do is, one day is going to be a sunny day, sunny Leonarducci day, right? Another day is going to be a full stack marketer day. I've really got to catch up with, I've got a funnel that is functioning, and I've just got to get my nose back in it. I've got to write some more emails that can be sent to the addresses that I already have collected. And anyway, so I've just got some work to do. And yeah, so, you know, just a couple things. Yeah. So anyway, I'm really excited though that even though I did beat myself up a little bit first, you know, I did snap out of it and say, wait, it's just a result. And I do think I have some kind of a tummy thing going on today. So maybe, you know, and I was, like I had said, it wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I was really sick. Not sick, but my MS was really acting up and I had to put myself to bed. The thing that was great about that though was that I kept doing the things that I needed to do. So, and today it was again a cloudy day. So I put off doing my walk until like 11:45, which is like unheard of. I've usually got to get it done by 8:30 at the very latest, or it's too hot for me to do. I am plowing back into it. I'm going to show some things, and I may put some explanations in text. But I have these things on my calendar, and I want to stay accountable to them. And I really, I have really swept back in very well with my gardening, and I've gotten really back on my Tony Robbins listening. I've been really good about that. But part of that, the gardening and the Tony going to go together, because what I do is I do something that Tony calls net time, and I listen to the Tony while I do the gardening stuff. And every once in a while I stop, because he has you do exercises every once in a while, and I'll stop and do that. But generally it's just great. So anyway, that's what I am up to, and that's it for this Wednesday. I am going to, another one that I've got on my docket for things, and I do not think that I mentioned her yesterday, is Teal Swan. I have happened upon her in Facebook, although I think she's been on YouTube for years. And she just does really good, I don't know what you call, they're guided meditations really, but it's also for things that you have trauma about. And I am like one of the most loved children in the world, so I don't have a lot of trauma, but I do have some things that happened in school. Nothing horrific, but still not great. And I've been able to kind of walk myself through those experiences and heal myself a little bit that way. And I've really appreciated doing that, because I think my trusting people is grounded in this particular event. So anyway, that So that's about it for today. And yeah, if I forgot something, oh, and the other thing that's been taking me off course on this stuff is my mom's memorial arrangement. So I may skip some of that. If you saw a little blip, that's why, because I kind of went a lot with it. Anyway, so yeah, so I've gotten a caterer, I've gotten an organist, I've gotten a singer, which is a friend, who is a friend rather, and you know, like I've been taking care of all these things, and my brother and I are looking at doing some things with the house, and you know, so there have been a lot of little tasks that have come up and have kind of taken a little more concentration than when I don't really have anything on the agenda, and I can just go through my day and act like these are classes I'm taking at a university. Well, kind of pretend, right? And yeah, so anyway, that was the other part that was really pulling me away. But I have to get really really committed. And one of the things that's been going really well is that in the morning when I do my Fab and 14, I'm following the example that Tony Robbins gave me in Hour of Power. And there are sorry, I'm getting all these alarms. There are several different things that I do on my walk, and that's going really well. Not only that, I am also looking to improve my recall on the journey, so I have taken some actions to help me remember things. The way that my memory works, I kind of need reminders before I go and do the walk and the guided meditation. So I am making sure that I have the reminders that I need before I go on my walk, and that's it. So it's like, you know, those 2 millimeter shifts. To Tony talks a lot about these. You know, you make a 2 millimeter shift and it's only like this much, but when you take that out, it becomes a whole lot. So that's what I'm banking on. And anyway, so I will see you later. Hi, here we are. It is Thursday. And yeah, I am still falling down a little bit on those tasks. I had a couple other things pop up though, and a lot of other things pop up for stuff with Mom. So I'm not beating myself up too much about it. But I will say this. I think one of the reasons that I'm not attending to it as well as I could be is that I haven't made up a rule. If you don't know what rules are, I will explain it. What I have done with all of the things that I have to do that are they kind of feel like drudgery. but it's something you really want to do, you know, is so like for doing the dishes daily, I made up a role. I am the dynamic dish doer when I do my dishes. And it's laughable, yes. It's ridiculous, yes. But it makes me laugh. And so I come to that task with a whole different kind of mindset. And that's the point of all of it, right? So, and this is a trick that I learned from Tony Robbins. Oh gosh, in a program called, pardon me, The Time of Your Life. Anyway, so I doing that, and but I haven't done it with these things yet. So I need to create one for my Sunny Lenarducci one, and that's like, I need to create something like, and I'm maybe repeating myself, I'm feeling like this is where my MS does not help me, and my cognitive disabilities, because I may have said this yesterday, I'm just now realizing. I need to create something like YouTube Diva or something. I need to like make a role that I can step into and like want to do the task. And so I need to do that. And I think that will actually make everything start to work a lot better. I don't don't need to be perfect, but I need to be consistent, and I haven't done these tasks or these goals that I've set out for myself. And what I do is I just use a Google Calendar. Anyway, for goals, I have like so many times a week. I decide ahead of time. So many times a week, pardon me, I'm going to do this task. And then I pick the times a day, and it just schedules it for me. Well, if my schedule is too busy, all I have to do is hit later on it, and it will reschedule it for me in my open time slots. So that's brilliant. And then I don't have to move it to a new spot. Because you can do the same thing just about by doing events that repeat, but the flexibility isn't, that flexibility piece isn't there. So anyway, yeah, but y'all, I'm doing great. I've gotten a bunch of extra contact things that needed to happen today that I didn't schedule, but needed to wound up happening today, and they needed to happen before my mom's funeral, or before her memorial. And so I was glad to get them done. I just am disappointed, would be maybe the right way to say it. I'm just disappointed that I haven't gotten back to these tasks, because I really am committed, and I haven't let go of the idea of getting back to them. So hopefully with some changes, I'll be able to do that. So anyway, okay. Y'all have a good night.
So happy Thursday. And I had a pretty good day today. Well, that's not exactly true, but I am not going to dwell on it. So yeah, I had kind of an icky day. I was kind of like emotionally all day, but that's the way it is. I really kind of wore myself out yesterday. I got a lot of things done, but I just really kind of wore myself out. So that's probably all it is. And anyway, just trying not to make a mountain out of a molehill. You know, emotionally, it's just what it was. And gosh, you know, I had all sorts of things go yesterday, but it all went pretty smoothly. I did get to do my dedicated time for my one subject, and I have decided to go from 5 days a week concentrating on those subjects to 3 days a week, because I think it will be easier for me to actually do it long term, you know, because these are things that are really important to me. And the other thing that I did today is I've made up some role names, and we spoke about that already, but although it was yesterday for me, right? Because I'm recording just a little bit every day. I used to do these and post them every day, but I'm just gonna do it all in one thing and see if I can't come up with a different format that's a little less. Well, the other was really good for the time that I did it, but it was kind of intense to record and post every day. Not always, you know, video editing isn't always a quick thing. But anyway, so I think I'm gonna like this better, but we'll see. I may go back to every day, or I may go back to 3 times a week, or not go back to, but I may start doing 3 times a week. I don't know, but I've just decided I'm gonna do it the way that is sustainable past a year, you know. So, because when things fell apart, I just really did a really bad job of letting myself off the hook at all. You know, instead of giving myself credit for doing it for a year and only missing a day or something like that, I really beat myself up that I missed a single day in a whole year. And it's ridiculous. Like, and yet we do this to ourselves. We do. It's like incredibly silly. And, you know, I don't know what y'all believe. I'm a Christian, and it's just the enemy getting in there and trying to talk you out of your greatness, you know? And I don't want him to have the win. He doesn't get the win. So, anyway, and you can think about it in a lot of different ways, you know? It's just good mindset work. It's good, whatever, however you want to think about it. But at any rate, for somebody who is so good at mindset, I really let myself down on that one. I really did. Because what I should have done was just go to a once a week format or something. Because I still had a lot of good things to say, and I can only imagine where I'd be now if I hadn't just said, "Oh, I'm taking my ball and I'm going home." I mean, you know, it's really just like ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. And I just want to really stay real. We're here at my house. Actually, it is actually my house now. Mine and my brother's. And Mama left it to us, and we're trying to, I mean, I'm starting over at 50, y'all. That's what I'm doing. And I'm using this in the first little bit just to kind of get myself going. But the real goal of this channel, and I'm not really like certain I want this channel to become super popular, because well, I don't need it to. Let's just put it that way. I just don't need it to. But at the other, I do have a channel, and I'm studying with the one, the only, Sunny Lenarducci, and I am definitely getting into some things there, and I'm setting up my 8 test videos to run that she teaches you to do in her course, YouTube for Bosses, and so I'm setting up my 8 test videos for my caregiver channel, because I do want to help people, but I also want to make a living. And I also want to find what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. I mean, I did singing. I didn't feel like I could do that anymore. I felt like it was wrong of me to stay in the profession. I would just be punching a time clock, and you know, I wasn't okay with being that kind of person. That wasn't okay with me. And yeah, so anyway, so that's where I am with all of it. And I'm definitely in a place where I'm really figuring out what the heck I'm going to do with my life. And I also have a great opportunity, if I look at it the right way. And it isn't life all the way you look at it, whether you're happy or sad or whatever, you know, not that you don't have contributing factors, because believe me, I was depressed. I have been depressed. I've been clinically depressed. In fact, they still say I am. I don't know that I buy that or not, but I'm gonna fight tooth and nail for every inch, because nobody's gonna fight for me like I will, right? So anyway, so we'll put this under a lot of categories. One of the things that I decided a while back was that I wasn't gonna just do the caregiving tips and tricks. I was also gonna be really open about having an illness. Taking care of a parent 24/7 is hard enough, but I was doing it with an illness of my own to like balance, and learning how to do that so that I didn't, you know, so everything didn't blow up. So anyway, so I have a lot of things to teach,
And I love teaching, so that's really good. And I want to share it. And you know what? If it doesn't really go anywhere, I want it to be popular so people get the information, right? That will also help me feed myself, and that's good. Okay? So those are my, you know, those are the things that I'm weighing. So it's altruistic, yes, but it's also okay for Facebook to, you know, um, find my content valuable and send it to people who could really use it. That is great, and that I love that part about YouTube. I love that this can be completely organic, and that's what Sunny Lenarducci teaches. She teaches organic traffic, and that's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to stick with that. So anyway, yeah, I'm really excited about that. So, and yeah, and I'll get a little bit more explicit about that as I start to set things up a little bit more. I'm just in the beginning stages of her course, and honestly, it's a lot for me to go through and answer all the questions, but she has very big warnings about do not skip over this, and nor do I want to, right? Don't skip over this, just dig into this, really get all of these things down, because it sets the, you know, it's like building the foundation of your house. You gotta have a foundation, or it's not gonna set up very well. Anyway, so but that's it for today. Happy Thursday. You guys take good care of yourself and take good care of each other. It's still, well, it's early afternoon. I have to check my time. Yeah, no, it's still morning. We've got like 10 more minutes left of morning. So anyway, good morning. I am doing my video early today because I'm going to go see a friend, and I don't want it to interrupt the pattern that I've been running, which is really good. I want to say a couple of things that have happened over the week and hopefully wrap this up and hope that I can keep my mind on track. It's really good for me to make my mind try to stay on track. But anything that I don't cover, I'll fill in with explanation and pictures. So I've been working heavily in my schedule this week to keep myself on track. And the whole point of all of this is I am in my 50s. I'm 55. I'm going to be 56 this year. Can't believe that. It's really freaking me out, guys. Anyway, and I am finding myself unemployed, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and what would be fulfilling. And I'm certainly willing to do some work that just pays the bills for a time being, but I think I'm old enough that I really want to do work that I can live with for a long time, you know, not just do for now. So anyway, yeah, so I've got all of those things on my agenda, and if you can commiserate, please, you know, leave a comment, subscribe. We can all do this together and learn from each other. That's one of the things that I love about YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, is that we can all like key into one another's things and help one another. And in this way, it's a really great way to like build a global community. And you know, our communities used to be location based, and those were really incredible things, these little location based communities. Think about when they settled the states, the United States, and how those little communities were so wonderful for the inhabitants, and how they all shared and did all that kind of stuff. But also think about the internet and the social groups as the new frontier, and think about how we can all find the people that we can relate to the best, and how that's even better, because it isn't just based on location, it's based on ideals and thoughts and really important stuff, you know. So I really like that idea. And so
that's what I'm working on. I'm also working on a course with Sunny, and I do not know if I'm saying her name right. I hope so. Sunny Lenarduzzi. Um, I say I sometimes I kind of waver back and forth between Lenarducci and Lenarduzzi because it's double Z at the end. So anyway, and the voice teacher in me just can't let this go, y'all. I used to be a voice teacher, so I'm like, what is that? Yeah. Anyway, so but yeah, we're doing lots of stuff, and next week is all going to be my mom's memorial is on the Saturday, so we're going to have that, and yeah, I may not yeah, we'll see how that all goes, and if I have to miss a day, I'll miss a day. That's no big deal in the scheme of things. So anyway, so reviewing this week and what I've been doing. One of the reasons that I do this is because I am holding myself accountable to the things I say I'm going to do. So there are a lot of things that I have on my schedule, and I think I have gotten back on the straight and narrow on it, and I'm so excited to get to the core of things and get things moving instead of beating myself up that it's not working, which just gets you more of it not working. It's like, I really totally believe that where focus goes, energy flows. It's what Tony Robbins teaches, and other people too, but Tony, he's my guy. I love Tony. So anyway, that's what I'm working on. And so I've spent the week not only getting a ton of stuff done for Mom's memorial. I mean, that has really interrupted. It's been an extraordinary week. That's what I decided to call it, because so many extraordinary things have happened, but it hasn't been an ordinary week. So some of the things that I want to do regularly have kind of fallen off. Some of them haven't, and that's really good. But yesterday and the day before, I spent a lot of time making up roles. Pardon me for my goals. For the goals. Pardon me. This happens when I first speak during the day. I've been up since like 7:30, so it's only like 11:45, but trust me, I'm not tired. Anyway, I've got some really kick-a roles for my the goals that I've set. And these goals are things that I really want to do and I'm committed to doing. But you know how you really want to do something, or you buy a course and you just kind of, I don't know, it's like acquiring it is enough, but that it's not enough. You have to acquire it and go through it. You have to go through the course in order to get anywhere. So anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm working on. And so I got the roles, to get back on the beam with what I was saying. The roles are help you get you to take action. The example I gave before being with my dishes, doing my dishes, instead of just, I have to do the dishes. You know, it's a to-do. What do to-dos make you feel like? I have to do. And as soon as you say, I have to, you are points down on the get yourself to do it chart. You've got to just like muscle through it to get it to happen. And my life's too short for me to work that hard on daily stuff. I'm just not going to do it. So what I've done to get myself in habits, and then actually once the habits start clicking, you don't need to do this anymore, right? You know, so I've named things really, really silly, and usually things that make me laugh, because that's what makes me attend to it, and And so I'm the dynamic dish doer, you know, like a superhero for the dishes. Like, ridiculous, you know? I used to be the mowing maven when I used to mow my lawn. The mowing maven, you know? Uh, so that my question wasn't, what do I have to do today? Is who do I get to be today? And that question is so much better. So much better. And I even try to work it into the way I pray and everything. God, thank you so much that I get to be, and I just, you know, today. And okay, so I've been structuring my week very carefully using standing appointments or events, they're called. And I use my Google Calendar for this. So the shots that you're going to see are from my Google Calendar. And I usually have it on the, what do they call that? When it's black instead of the white background. It's just easier to see. Anyway, I'll put it down here. Anyway, and I've got that just so it's easier to see. And I have events, and then I have goals, and the goals are set in such a way that, you know, they pop up in my schedule, and if today is not a good day for it, I can say it later and it will reschedule it for me. And I've loved that, because even though I have some little itty bitty problems with it in other matters, I love that it just reschedules it, that I don't have to take 5-10 minutes, whatever, to plop it into the next day and figure out and move things around and do all that. No, it just does it, and that's good. Okay, and then the other thing that I do is I utilize for things that I need to get done in a day, or like I need reminders because of the way my brain works, and because of the way it has really brilliant ideas, but if I don't write it down and capture it, it gets let go really quickly. And that has to do with my dementia, and I do think it's getting better with the exercise and stuff. But you know, y'all, my brain does look like Swiss cheese up there. I have seen the MRIs, and that is what it looks like. And I don't have many physical ailments. So it's got, you know, the disease has got to be, not disease, it's a condition, but it's got to impact me somehow. So it hits me cognitively. And also with fatigue and things like that. There are other things that happen that way. So, and, you know, if you are somebody who is fighting well, you could be fighting MS, or you could be fighting another kind of immune compromising disease, then, you know, and maybe you're looking for work too, or maybe you found work. Like, put it in the comments. I'm like all for it. I am on anyway, that was a little tangent, and let me get back to that, and then we can talk about that in a minute. But anyway, I've got because of the way my brain works, I have to use all of the parts of the Google Calendar, and I use reminders, and I use, there's another way they say that. I'm going to have to pause it and go look. Okay, it's tasks. So they have reminders and tasks, and those come into the schedule in different colors, and they can be assigned to a specific time, or they can just remain at the top. If there are things that I want to get done over the next couple days, honestly, I leave them at the top. So when I decided I needed to create new roles, for instance, for all of my different goals during the day, I put every single category up in my tasks, so that, and they come in pink, so that I would just remember. Now, I don't call them tasks because that borders on that whole to-do thing, and I don't like calling my things that I got to get done to-dos. I like who do I get to be? So I, I even created a role for creating roles, which is the rock and roller. I think that's awesome and stupid and fun and makes me laugh, and that's great. So, but Google has tasks on, and I can't change their word. So that's the way that goes. So I just use it the way I want to use it. And that way it's always in my phone. So it's like I often say, I've got to go get my brain to see if I can, when I can meet with you, because I've got, and that's okay, because that frees my mind up for some nice free thoughts and stuff. Anyway, so I've been working really hard on those roles this week, and I put them in the tasks so that I would see which ones I had done and transferred, and I transferred them, the verbiage that I created, into the goal itself. So I've been walking daily, but I've also been doing dreaming and doing a guided meditation. So I changed my walking Fab and 14, which is, I have a YouTube video that by the way is right in my thing. It's right in my calendar. So when I go to do that every day, I don't have to go on YouTube and say, oh, find it. No, 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 no. I have the link right in my schedule. So I just go to that, and it's a goal. I go to the goal, and I just highlight the link, and I go to it and I run it. So it's really, really slick. But anyway, I changed the role from walk, Fab and 14, to dream walker, because that is what I'm doing. And I love that whole idea of dream walking, and it gives me images of those Indian dream catchers and all of that. I just think it's kind of cool. So anyway, so that's for that one. And I've got some other ones, and I'll show you how they, and instead of explaining them, which will take me 10 minutes, I'll just give you a graph that'll show everything on it. And then the other thing, and I've been working, because these goals, what had happened, except for my reading, which I was really good about staying in there for almost every day for the last 2.5 weeks since I started this whole thing, maybe 3 at this point. Anyway, I've been really good about the reading every day. In fact, I even added to my reading. I do a business reading in the morning, and I do like a growth and mindset reading in the afternoon, and then I do my own personal reading before I go to bed. So I've got 3 readings, 3 reading categories. Yeah. Yeah. And so I've got those, and they're just clicking along. And but I was finding that the things that I really wanted to do, and I had them marked for 5 times a week, they weren't happening. All the courses that I was working on and all that. So I've gotten my nose back in them, because it had been so long since I was in it that I couldn't remember, and I had to go back and review, and that is BS. I am not doing that again. That is a waste of time on all counts. Now maybe I learned something extra special going through it again, and that's what I'm believing in, but at the same time, we're not doing it again. We're not doing it a 3rd time. So anyway, so I've got I got the best role for my Sunny Lenarducci study. Oh my gosh, the Viscountess of Video. And so it's all about me learning this video thing from Sunny, and her great method for working with the algorithm organically and all that stuff. So I'm just really excited, and I love that Viscountess of Vids. I love it. So anyway, it's fun for me. So I got that, and the last 2 days I have paid attention to it the way I should, which is really nice. And I have got some other work done on my other categories, but they're not like things that really get me going yet. I'm getting close, but it's just not quite. Oh, and another one that I do every morning, I was doing things for my garden, and I would also listen to a Tony Robbins something or other in the morning. So what I came up with was, let's see, I may have to stop again. Yeah, I'm gonna stop because it's cultivator of vegetation and implementation, imagination, and oh, there's one more word. Anyway, I'll put it down here at the bottom so you can see it. It's really great. And then I have that as it's kind of net time. I'm doing the gardening, but I'm also doing the other. And I have it scheduled for an hour because every once in a while I have to stop and do something that Tony is having us do, you know, because it's a workshop usually that I'm listening to. Anyway, yeah, so exciting. So anyway, that's going really well, and I'll just show you really cleanly like what my week looked like, and you know what things kind of fell off, what next week looks like. Well, what I'm going to do is I will post a day with all of the goals in it. Now my day would hardly ever have all of my goals in it. But instead of showing you a week and how it's all spread out, I'm just going to show you so that it's basically showing you the list of what I'm working on. Okay, and then that's it. So you can see if this is something that you'd like to do. If in fact, maybe next week what I can do is show you with it wouldn't be a screen share, but what I could do is I could record my screen while I actually do some things, and then I can narrate a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, so and this is what I have with my memory issues and stuff. This is what I had to come to, because I am not going to have a crap life just because I can't remember shit. That is not okay or acceptable in any way. No. I'm going to keep on working at my memory, of course, but you know, if this is what's in the cards for me, then you know, I'm going to figure out a way to do it, and that's just the truth. So anyway, that's it. It's my last time for saying this a week, and I probably may cut off all the rest of the times because hearing me say it over and over isn't really a good thing. Anyway, take good care of yourself and take good care of each other. You guys take care.